What's going on, guys? It is MurderInc here. Today we're going to be talking about this Summer Smash Fragment event. Usually I wait until I have the champion test it for you. However, this is the exception. I believe there is enough information for me to give you some vital information before you jump into this, just so you can have a good head on your shoulder in making decisions based on how you're going to approach this, and some new information that you might want to know before you go forward. So the first thing I want to do is I want to look at this champion for face value by herself. Now the biggest thing that I want to focus on with her kit is her A2 ability. She is an ally attack champion, however it's not 100% chance unless you book this champion. So this significantly devalues this champion for any low spender, occasional spender. If you're not spending money, if you don't have the books ready, this champion's value is very, very low. So this is something to keep in mind when going forward if you're considering this event. So just in case any of you are curious, I will go over the skills very briefly, not in too much detail. Attacks one enemy, places a shield buff equal to 10% of this champion's maximum HP and the lowest HP ally. This is okay. I don't think this is game breaking. I don't think this is game changing at all. But this is definitely a solid skill. We already talked about the A2. This is cool, but it's heavily reliant on being fully booked for this to even become a thing. The worst thing that could happen is for you to use this A2 and literally only get a stun out of this effect. Moving on to the A3, increase attack and increase crit rate. Two very strong buffs that aren't often seen together. This goes on to a 4-turn cooldown, and then she attacks all enemies on top of that. So on top of having two very strong buffs and the greater version of it, she applies it on all allies for 3 turns as opposed to 2 turns or even 1 turn, how we normally see it from other champions. But the fact that she attacks all enemies after this does raise some questions on how hard she can hit, and can she be used to do anything with this ability as far as raw damage goes. The one thing that caught my eye that I didn't really like to see is the crit damage is 57%, down from the original 63% that most attack-based champions do have when they are focused on damage dealing. So that's something that caught my eye very quickly, and I'm going to be keeping an eye on that. 99 base speed is pretty good. The base attack 1244 isn't crazy, isn't very low, so it's right in the middle there, so that's not bad. She has a very high defense, which is a very good sign, which means she can actually see a lot of play in the clan boss, which means I would be returning to my clan boss. And there is one thing I want to show you and talk about, a perfect segue. As we all know, I have been retired from the clan boss, so I want to show you what my retirement actually looks like with this really cool screenshot here. So now that I brought this up, I wanted to show you guys I actually did break my own world record once again with 117.22 million damage with this same team. Since I'm not focusing on clan boss, I do love it a lot, so I will be slowly inserting these small little updates throughout these videos, so definitely look for those if you're still interested in this. If you're not, you can close your eyes during this part. Don't worry, I won't be offended. So now let's get back to the rest of the video. Now what a lot of people want to know is this in fact a paywall event? Now it does appear to be a paywall event, however, Ethereum has said in a recent conversation that there will be a way to obtain fragments for this legendary after this event. So once this entire Summer Bash fragment event is over, there will be extended events after this. There's no ETA on that yet. However, there will be ways to get fragments for this legendary support champion. Now, they did not mention how easy it was going to be. I assume it's still going to be a slight paywall. Maybe if you save up resources enough and we have enough time to prepare for it, you will be able to get this champion. However, as it currently stands, with what it takes to get this champion, you will have to spend some money if you haven't been saving your resources. Now, the events from the Fire Night can be pretty easy to get if you are slowly farming that throughout this 3-day duration of this tournament, as well as the classic arena takedown. You can also get this pretty easily. However, as we all know, we do have the typical summon rush, which unless you have shards saved up, and most people save them for 2 times, you're probably not going to hit that 3,500 mark. As we can see, the bulk fragments available. So we have 25 available here, we have 5 available from the other events, so there's obviously a clear wait in how you need to go about getting the majority of these. So it's pretty safe to say that the rest of the events are going to move along these lines, where mass fragments will be a slight paywall. The good news is they did not put them in the 7500, the 6900 slot, so this is very good. However, 3500 points, we're still talking about 7 sacred shards, which most people probably don't have saved up. If they do, they're very lucky, but if they don't, you will probably have to spend money just to get these fragments. So with that being said, it's very beneficial for you to take a look at your account, at your progress, and say, is this really going to be worth it? Especially with this new information that fragments will be available in the future after this summer event is actually over. I already have lots of ideas for where I can use this champion. My clanmates as well have given me some amazing ideas on where she can be used. However, once again, she will have to be fully booked, at least her A2 fully booked, to get any use out of it, because ally attack is such a strong skill, and the fact that it's not 100% is a little disappointing on how they approach this. In my opinion, it should have been 80% chance to stun, 100% chance to ally attack, and I would have definitely recommended, whether you spend occasionally or you don't spend at all, to put some money into the game to get this champion. However, with the way that they laid this out, the fact that it's 100% chance to stun, based on your accuracy of course, and an 80% chance of teaming up with 3 random allies, the value, in my personal opinion, is extremely low unless you fully book this champion. So as we can see here, just quickly looking over the Summer Smash Fragment event timeline, as I previously mentioned, where I hadn't looked at this and just guessed, 30 fragments from the Summon event, and if you look down on the bottom of the screen, Champion Chase Tournament offers 45 fragments, probably another paywall event to get all of the fragments needed. So there's definitely tons of options to get this. So as it stands, there is 145 fragments you can get from all of these events and tournaments. So while there is that incentive to say you don't have to get all of them, it seems like you're going to need a lot of resources to get the 100 required without spending any money. So this is something to consider. Try not to get baited into this. This is kind of my warning to you. If you think, well, this is too hard to get, I'm not going to be able to do it, I'll make it up in other events, this is kind of the way to hook you and grab you in and say, now we're coming up to the last tournaments, you need X amount of points, and if you can't hit that threshold, you're going to have to spend money to get it. Once you do get it, then you're going to have to consider, now I need books to make this worth it, after looking at that A2 ability. So all of these things kind of round up together, and this is why I wanted to make this video, strictly to inform you, to make sure you're making the best decision possible with the resources and with the money you're willing to spend, to make sure this actually is worth it for you. I know I often preach, if you have the ability to get a champion, you definitely should, if it's within your means. However, this specific champion, it can definitely cause you to overlook some things. How this has all been presented from the company, it's very smart on their end, I'm not going to lie. This is extremely smart in how they went over these things and presented it to the entire community, and everyone obviously is very excited that there are fragments. This isn't like a fusion where you can save up your champions and allows you to skip events. So this does make it a little more intensive on what you actually need to get this champion. But all in all, I think that if you don't have the books completely ready for her, she shouldn't be even on the table as far as consideration goes to get to this champion. And this is something that I've actually never said before, according to any other champion in the game since I've been playing this game and been doing YouTube and all the content creating that I have. Hopefully you do find this video well and you enjoy the feedback that I've given you. I'm really looking to what you guys think about this event. Are you going to push for these champions? Do you have the books ready? And obviously, last but not least, who's excited for me to get this champion if you are pushing for this, to see what she can actually do? As mentioned before, I don't want to give any spoilers, but there's some really cool things that you can do with this champion that we've already kind of worked out, and I'm really excited to show you guys once I unlock all of the fragments and I'm able to showcase this champion to you in the full. So as always guys, thanks a bunch for watching. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to subscribe, turn on that notification bell, and smash that like button. It would mean the world to me. Hopefully you've enjoyed my arena videos. I do like making them a lot, and I plan to make many more, as well as dungeon videos. I have a few ideas up my sleeves. So until the next video, I will see you all very soon.